Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So I'm reading for Scorpio energy for Tuesday. So you don't have to be Scorpio for it to resonate. It may be your sun sign, but you may have different aspects in your birth chart, which means this will resonate or not. If it doesn't resonate, you can go and check out your chart. There's a link in the description box below, and you can go and check out your other placements, which, maybe the stories there might fit better. What I'm seeing here today is there's quite a bit of loneliness and isolation. I don't necessarily think this story is about you. I think this is somebody that you may be observing. Um, I've kind of got this energy of like, the ghosts of Christmas past, or in that story where Scrooge. I'm not saying that you're Scrooge in any sort of way. It's just the best way I can describe the energy of like what I was tuning into when I started your reading. It's like this energy of, how the ghosts of Christmas past, present, future, and Ebenezer Scrooge, they kind of go into the different places, and they're in this kind of role of the observer, and like they're not actually, nobody can see them, they can't affect what's happening, they're just kind of there in kind of like an observer mode. So it's like you're observing something, and I want to say there's no danger to you. You don't feel scared, and you don't feel like threatened in any sort of way. It just feels like observing something. So it could be observing yourself objectively, almost like seeing yourself or your situation in third person, or maybe your past as well. I've got the Six of Cups here in the underlying, which is a card about nostalgia, looking back at the past, thinking of things that happened in the past. It's got this also like past lives or soulmate energy kind of attached to it. Equal give and take as well emotionally. So there could be something about the past, about nostalgia, about looking back over incidents in the past. Somebody may be doing like therapy, and be doing regression, where you're taken back to the past, back to a certain moment, and you have to, rather than experience it in first person, experience it as it played out, you're asked to kind of like step into the role of observer, kind of like in the Ghost of Christmas Past, when they go back to the past. What's it called? Christmas, what's it called? I can't remember the name of it. That's weird. It's such a famous story. I'm hearing A Nightmare Before Christmas, and that's definitely not the film, so I don't know if that applies to anyone. A Christmas Carol. Why did it take me so long to get that? That must be something. That must be something for somebody, because that was so strange. It was like the word was not in my head. Carol. Perhaps somebody's called Carol. Perhaps you forgot about somebody called Carol. I don't know. So it's this energy of like maybe through guided meditation or guided therapy, kind of like going back into the past, reliving something, and rather than being affected by it in that first person, you're kind of watching it play out in a more objective way, where maybe it's something that happened when you were a child, and now you're an adult. You've got that kind of adult mind, adult perspective. You've got a broader amount of knowledge to apply to that situation, where maybe you're going back and you're seeing things and understanding things from the perspective of different people in this situation. It could be that, or maybe this is something that's happening in your dream space. Maybe you're astrally projecting, but it's got this your energy, when I'm tapping into it, just feels like you're stood very still watching something happen, and being very, very objective and being very neutral. It's like almost seeing somebody struggling and thinking, I'm going to watch and see how this plays out. It's not that you don't care. It's that you feel like one step removed, where it's like maybe you wish this person well, but you understand that it's not your battle to fight. So it's like letting them, like stepping back and letting them do something, because they're going to learn a lesson from it, right? It's going to make them stronger. So it's got this energy of I'm not going to intervene, because this is that person's journey. They have to figure this out for themselves. So it could be something like that. I had a dream that could be relevant as well. It was I was in a theatre and I was watching Doja Cat perform. It was some kind of like award ceremony, and she was quite close to me. She had this long kind of gauzy dress on, and these big like platform heels, and she was trying to walk backwards. She was singing and she was trying to walk backwards up the steps, but the ends of her dress were kind of tying her up and making her fall over. And obviously I'm in the audience, I can't go and intervene with that performance. So it's watching it, and she made eye contact with me, and it was like, how is she gonna deal with this? Is she gonna fall down, you know, and it'd be a big embarrassing thing. But if you know Doja Cat, she's got a very funny personality. She kind of plays things off. So she made it part of the act. In the dream, she kind of made it part of the routine. Now, it doesn't have to specifically be Doja Cat, right? It's just, maybe it's something to do with her personality type. You know, maybe you're watching somebody with this personality type who kind of laughs things off, who gets back up on her feet, who makes the mistakes part of her act. I do feel like this is Libra energy coming through. There's a lot of Libra here. So you could be Libra Scorpio cusp, or you could be dealing with a Libra. This is kind of like the energy of Libra, this make lemons out of lemonade, or lemonade out of lemons energy that comes through for Libra a lot. It's like, okay, we've been given a bad hand here, we've been given a bad situation. How do we play it off to our advantage? Which I've been doing myself. And you know, Doja Cat is like that as well. She's a Libra. So I'm kind of getting that energy of kind of messing something up and then being like, oh, how do I turn this to my advantage? How do I look at this situation as something that could potentially be beneficial, that I could learn a lesson from? It's something like this. So yeah, but in this dream, like, the whole show got cancelled, and it was like, you know, when celebrities or organizations get cancelled and people like don't, you know, people say, don't go to the show, don't buy the tickets, you know, don't show up, kind of thing. And I didn't realize this. It was just like, why is the auditorium empty? Why are all the chairs empty? Why are there so few people here? And I ended up going backstage, and all the actors and actresses and performers were all there, and they were all leaving. And I was like, why are you leaving? Let's, you know, let's carry on with the show. I'm going to tweet about it. We'll get people to come down, you know, we'll fill the space. But what I didn't know was there was some reason why somebody had been cancelled. Now, when I went onto Twitter this morning and I was like, I had a dream about Doja Cat. Like, I love her. I think she's great. But somebody said to me, oh, you know, I really like her, but she bullied people online, and this isn't something I knew about, and I didn't look into it further. But it's that energy of like, maybe rooting for somebody, maybe speaking up for somebody, and perhaps there's some controversy around them that you weren't aware of. There could be something like that happening. Everything that I get pre-reading is part of the reading. So there's something in that dream that's applying to your reading here. You know, standing up for somebody, but you didn't realize they were getting cancelled. Like, it's like you've got one half of the book and everybody else has got another half of the book, something like this. So what's really interesting is in this vision, I kept on seeing her fall down. And this reading starts with this girl who's on her knees, or she's fallen down. She's struggling, right? She's struggling to push away the darkness to let the light come through, which is really interesting because the card on the underlying here is darkness. So it's got this energy of somebody who's trying to kind of push aside the darkness or resist the darkness that's trying to close in, to allow some kind of light to come through. But you can see it always seems to me like it's a struggle. It's almost like you know, kneeling down so somebody can walk across your back. So there is something about like being stabbed in the back, or stabbing yourself in the back. Like, maybe somebody's done something where they've stabbed themselves in the back. But again, this Seven of Inspiration, like, it fits so well with what I was kind of dreaming about, because this is a card about defending yourself. So if I just read to you this Seven of Inspiration card. So yeah, it feels like the observer, like you've noticed somebody perhaps who's got themselves into a situation where perhaps there's a lot of people, you know, a lot of people attacking them. You know, this person has to defend themselves in some sort of way. You know, they're aware that they stabbed themselves in the back, they made a mistake. But it's like everybody, you know, when everybody wants to say their piece, everybody wants to cancel. I hate cancel culture. I really, really do. Because if we allowed cancel culture to reign, you know, being a you know, a humanist, a humanitarian, I don't know. I studied humanities at university. So understanding that all humans are flawed, all humans make mistakes, you know, eventually we're all going to be cancelled. You know, you can't cancel the entire human race. So for me, cancel culture is very, very unhealthy. It's much better to be a supportive culture that teaches each other important, valuable lessons, you know, who gives people information. Like, this is why this is why we disagree with what you said. You know, let us help you grow as a person. And also allowing people to have different perspectives. Again, if we were, you know, we might as well be robots if we're all programmed with the same core beliefs and core, you know, opinions and core values. You know, we might as well be robots. We'd all be the same. You know, all plastic surgery doctor look like whatever the latest beauty trend is, all looking exactly the same, all thinking exactly the same, cannot have different opinion, all robots here. You know, it's like, get reprogrammed because, you know, you're you know, there's something wrong with your code, you don't match the rest of the humans. It's not right. It's not right. It's much better to be multifaceted, to have you know, interesting groups of people with different opinions, having that debate, and allowing people to have different opinions and not feel like you have to cancel them or push them away or hide them. So it feels like somebody's under attack. I'm going to read it to you. Again, with the Libra center ground as well, just to kind of show you the images here. There's this like center ground energy, you see here as well with this Lover's card, this center ground energy. This card here, center ground. So does feel like somebody's took the center ground. And sometimes when you do that, again, I don't know if somebody's on the cusp, when you take the center ground, it can make you feel very, very isolated. There's a lot of isolation here later in the reading, because you don't fit in with either group. Then people really like people to take sides. It's like, if you're not with us, you're against us. If you don't agree with us 100%, then you're the enemy. And that's not really what people are like. They just, you know, people might disagree, but they're not going to say it because they want to stay in part of the group, which there's a sense of dishonor there as well. So there is a lot of Libra in here, that kind of Queen of Swords, Justice card energy of, I would rather do the honorable thing. I would rather be true to myself. I would rather speak the truth, even though it's hard and even though it's isolating me, than compromise my integrity, compromise my boundaries by, you know, saying what everybody wants me to say. So there is something that's very high vibrational and high honor in this, even though this person is like stabbing themselves in the back. I get it, right? I'm a Libra, I'm Queen of Swords, Justice card energy. I've got Libra in like Mercury and stuff like this. It's like, I cannot tell a lie. What's that? I cannot tell a lie. You know, I can tell lies, but normally it's playful. Normally it's obvious because I'm making a joke, but normally I'd rather tell the truth and be brutally honest and deal with the consequences of that, which I think is very mature, actually, personally, being a Libra. I don't know, my mum was Scorpio, and she'd be very, very secretive, again with that High Priestess energy that you have, or the King of Cups energy. It's like, I'll be a little bit more, I'll hold back a bit more with my emotions. You've got the King of Cups here again, which is why I'm saying, sorry, there's a bit of fluff there. Get away, fluff. You've got the King of Cups here with this soulmate energy, this nostalgia energy. So again, and look here as well, Empress. So it does have this feeling of, I feel like you're the King of Water. You're being this observer, and you're observing somebody who's Libra or possibly Taurus. And there is kind of soulmate energy here, past life energy, or soul recognition, I want to say, between these two people. You know, and the King of Cups as well, your energy, you are very, very caring, but you do hold back. And again, don't worry about gender. You can switch and reverse the gender in those cards. So, right, anyway, back to this. Whoever it is that you're observing, defending your position. Again, you could be cusp, right? You could be both of these characters, observing yourself. Defending your position, being attacked, protecting your inner light, other people's negative opinions or scarcity mindset, internal versus external validation, energetic shields, paying attention to your energy. I'm just moving my fingers because I was working yesterday and I cut so much avocado, and it doesn't matter how much I clean my nails, I still feel like they're filthy underneath, like they were full of avocado. So I'm just going to move so you don't have to see my dirty nails. Prompt, obligatory bravado. There you go. Too honest, right? Too honest is my downfall. Everybody's like, ugh, just clean them. I've tried cleaning them. After feeling the sunlight of goals met and success tasted, the Seven of Inspiration finds herself with clouded perception and a heavy heart. Again, Libra had this thing about a clouded perception. It was like things were being hidden from them. Again, this secrets energy, which is kind of coming through more with you being the King of Cups. Like, or the High Priestess as well in the tarot, like you are the secret keeper of the tarot. So It's like Libra energy, feeling like they're being, like secrets are being kept from them, or they're being kept in the dark, and feeling like this cloud of judgment. And then you have this higher perspective, like you're the observer. But it's like, well, let's see what they do with this. Let's see how they handle this. Those around her have attacked her wins, her path, her position. Some simply don't understand her unique glow and disagree with her, so they try to push her down. Some covet her accomplishments or dislike them. Some have mindsets about success that confuse their own fragile feelings about what they don't have and how they feel about her. So, like, it's not about her. All these people attacking her, because the 7 of Wands is people attacking somebody. They're not even really attacking something about her. They're attacking something within themselves. It's something that's been triggered within themselves. So it's like a jealousy. They're jealous of her success, so they attack her rather than work on themselves. Or they want her, so they try and knock her down to their level. It's coming from a place of like lack. So I'll read that again. Some simply don't understand her unique glow and disagree with her, so they try to push her down. Some covet her accomplishments or dislike them. Some have mindsets about success that confuse their own fragile feelings about what they don't have and how they feel about her. She wavers, feeling it all, taking it in, and as she does, her fire begins to dim. It sputters as she allows the external jabber to enter her core. Then she remembers that rising up can sometimes mean others will not agree. She breathes in and settles once more. She fills her heart with joy. Do not be dimmed. You deserve this success. It's time for you to defend your spark and reach out in love, pushing all external darkness away. Defend I am, here I am, strong, and I have made it. Take you can't, and break you shan't. No closing in will shade it. So she's pushing back. She is resisting. She's pushing back at this darkness that's trying to come in, which I want to say is other people, right? Other people trying to dim her light in some sort of way. You've got beginnings here as well. It's like there's a new start. And then the void as well here is, look. And then will. So we're getting this kind of like light and darkness energy that was coming through. I want to say for Leo, I think. So moderation, again with that Libra energy, maybe if this is like online, perhaps maybe you need moderators, you need people who are gonna, for example, if you were Twitch streaming, you have mods or moderators who come in and if people are acting up in chat, the moderators can put it in slow mode, or they can ban people and things like this. So maybe you need some kind of moderator, or maybe somebody is very moderate, somebody is taking that center ground. Could be something like that. Now, again, there's something about the nakedness of these people. So if I go back to that void card there in the underlying, she's naked, naked in the darkness, right? Naked facing the darkness. I want to say naked here, naked here. So it's like she has nothing to hide. She has nowhere to hide. Here as well, naked. There is something about authenticity and truth as well here. Look, authenticity, truth, not hiding anything. And that's you have to be incredibly brave to do that. Not everybody can do that. Most people hide in the darkness. They hide the true selves. They refuse to allow that scrutiny in. But here she's like allowing herself to be seen, or something like this. So there's something here about, again, like the 7 of inspiration can be about taking the high ground or defending your position. So I do want to say there is resistance to whoever this is. There is resistance. She is drawing boundaries. Again, Libra energy, Queen of Swords energy. She is the boundary keeper of the tarot. So it's like she has perhaps a bubble of protection around her. Perhaps she's created this herself. I want to say there's something where she's not letting this darkness get too close. Her own inner light, it's talking about her own inner light, is creating this protective boundary in some sort of way. Her own truth, her own integrity. Like if somebody's completely 100% honest, that is a defense mechanism. That is that is a way of staying safe, you know, because people can't, I mean, people can always twist your words and things like this. People can think whatever they want to think. That's not your job to change what other people think. I don't know. There's something about the numbers as well. So down here you've got 32, 32. So somebody could be 32. 32 could be a significant number. And then it goes backwards 23. So those numbers 2 and 3 could mean something to you. I don't know. So again, it's like releasing your own inner light, releasing your own inner... It feels a little bit like fighting back, right? It feels a little bit like, you know, being suppressed and then something triggering you, or something, you know, hitting rock bottom even, and then coming out fighting. Because here, like, look at these beautiful images here. It's like this thing's trying to come through, this warm light energy is trying to come through, and it's like what's coming, you know, I said it's like stepping over her back. What's coming out is this Jaguar energy, and again with this thing about the back, like stepping over her back. It does have this feeling of either sometimes it comes through with this energy of like, I'll kneel down, I'll sacrifice myself so that something else can come forward, or somebody else can come through this gateway. So it could be that this is a separate entity, but the actual meaning of this card with release is normally an inner release, a release of your own inner power. So a sacrifice of the persona so the true self can come out, something like this. It could be. I may actually just read a little bit of that card just so you can understand it a little bit better. This is from the Divine Animals Oracle deck by Stacey DeMarco. What number is it? 9. Could be something to do with your work. The beaver and work is underneath there. Maybe it's something to do with... Maybe somebody does work with this naked woman. You know, it's very obviously there's something about this naked woman here. I'm not going to ignore that. And with the Lovers card here as well, and with the beaver, it could be that somebody does some kind of work that is to do with the body or sexuality. And perhaps, you know, a lot of people disapprove of this. Perhaps the truth is coming out. This person perhaps does work online, and perhaps they do that naked. I'm trying to say it in a appropriate way for YouTube. It's not something that I would... It's not that I shy away from saying it so much as certain words and certain terms can get your video kind of suppressed. So I'm just avoiding saying those terms. But I think some of you will know what I'm alluding to, especially if that is part of your situation. And I'm not... You know, what people do is what people do. We all make our own choices. And, like, there is absolutely no judgment here, you know? So I don't know. There could be something about that. Release what you no longer need. I'll show you this one. It's a very, very powerful card. It's like the inner feminine coming out, right? The divine feminine. Release what you no longer need. Take action to move something from the ideas world into the physical world. Let go of the old and stale and choose renewal. Wash away the negative aspects of the past. Surrender it all and embrace the new. Maybe somebody did something in the past. And this, you know, the truth's coming out. Something like this. I don't know. Ixchel, the fierce jaguar goddess of the ancient Mayan culture, was the goddess of midwifery, fertility, earth, rain, and the sacred sweat bath. Widely honoured, her cult extended at one time as far as the islands off the east coast of the Yucatan Peninsula. It was she who women turned to at the time of birthing. At birthing time, the women were oiled and flowers put into their hair. Blah, 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 blah. The magic. Call upon the releasing powers of the jaguar woman, Ixchel, when you are ready to let go of something, whether it's an excess of something, a bad habit, a disease, or old patterns. Ixchel is a powerful discharging force. For those who are ready for birth, she's a wise guide and will assist you to have an easier birth. So maybe it is birth for some of you, like pregnancy, but for a lot of you, I feel like it's more the release of your true self, the release of the wild part of you within, something like that. So being attacked, almost like being backed into a corner, right? Backed into a corner, feeling like you don't have much space, and then coming out fighting is how that feels. I don't know how that applies for you, but it does feel like being very, very truthful. You know, standing in your truth, drawing those boundaries, defending your position, taking the higher ground, because sometimes the higher perspective can be a lonely perspective. Sometimes being able to see the whole wood, and not just individual trees, and having that high perspective, again, that kind of came through in Libra's reading. I'm just thinking back now. It can be a lonely position because a lot of people just see things from their own bubble, their own viewpoint, and they find it very hard to see outside of that box, that they've been raised in or that they exist in, again, because of that natural behavior of humans to kind of have that group mentality or group thinking. Again, I've talked about this in one reading, how right and wrong is basically whatever the majority says. Most people agree with the majority that that's right because it's the most vocal, because people want to fit in. And there's evidence of scientific studies that show, if you weight it differently, so if you plant people in a room and have more people agreeing with something else, then most people will shift position to whatever that is. So and being able to see that human behavior and being able to take a step out of it and say, I'm not taking sides, I'm taking the middle ground. It is a very, very lonely position. This keeps coming out in readings at the moment. I don't know why. This person feels very, very isolated. So it could be that they've taken themselves away, again, drawn up those boundaries, gone away somewhere, perhaps, gone to a cabin in the woods, perhaps taken themselves off social media, perhaps, just isolating themselves somehow. It could just be, I'm going to stay at home. I'm going to not answer my phone. I'm going to stay here. And maybe figure out something within as well. Interesting with this fire transmutation energy underneath as well. So retreat then, isolation, retreat, being inside your own bubble. And then there's this kind of, again, it could be like ostracizing somebody, or what's that? What do people do in what do they do to Bolingbroke in Richard II? They exile him, or Ovid as well got exiled. So it could be like feeling like you've been exiled from a community, because here on Expansion and North and Cleansing Storms, you can see she's isolated on this little tiny, I don't know if it's a boat or an island, but she is isolated, right, from the other people. She's isolated here. So there's definite isolation here on these cards. Retreat, expansion and cleansing. So I want to say that there is something where this person being in their own energy, isolating themselves, drawing those boundaries, being in their own energy, it is cleansing something from them. It is bringing them a sense of truth, inner truth and inner clarity here with mountain. Again, it's like I'm getting love on a mountaintop. Maybe somebody has gone up a mountain, it could be literal, or it could be metaphorical, right? Metaphorically climbing a mountain, doing some hard work, gaining the higher perspective, which brings a lot of clarity. Again, this card is about getting the upper hand, getting the upper ground, going to the upper ground, having the higher perspective, defending yourself. So it does feel like there's something about getting a higher perspective, bringing clarity, but being very, very isolated in doing so. And even here as well with this Ghostlands card, can you see all this like frozen? Could be like somebody's been frozen out of a group, frozen out of a situation, been ghosted. Other people aren't. You're the bad guy. You're exiled. You've got the, you're the truth speaker, but we don't want to hear that truth. So we don't want to be around you anymore. It makes us uncomfortable to hear that truth. So we're putting our boundaries up. We're ghosting you. We're not answering your calls. We're not, it could be somebody feels like they've been exiled, or feels like they've been pushed out of a group, or perhaps possibly two groups because they've not taken sides. Perhaps it's like a family situation, two sides of the family are fighting, and it's like these people want you to take their side, these people want you to take their side, you're refusing because you're like, do you know what, you're being a dick, you've got a good point, but you're both being dicks here. Like, either give equally, emotional give and take here, come together. It's like you're in the middle ground, right? You're in the middle ground of this situation. It's like, I love you, but I'm not taking sides here. But then it's got this energy of like everybody ending up in the same place at the same time, you know, almost like an intervention or something, or like, you know, everybody's path has been brought together. Everybody found themselves up the mountain at the same time. You know, they were coming from this side, they were coming from this side, but they reached the same place. Again, you can see it in this card as well, like two people coming from, normally it's like this is our perspective and we have to go through different doors, but it's like people coming through this door, people coming through this door, meeting in the middle. And even here as well with this rock bottom, there's something where it's like it's rock bottom, but it's like breaking the glass ceiling or something. It's like you've gone as far as you can, right? It's like the paths, it's instead of being like going down something, it's you've actually been going up something. So you may feel like you've been going down, but you've actually been, the path has actually led you to a pinnacle or a meeting place, or like it's got this feeling of like two people being brought together, especially with like the six of cups. It's like soulmate energy, the king of water and the empress here. It's like you've been brought, it's like the universe has conspired to bring you back together. You thought you were going down, but you've been actually getting to a pinnacle. You've been getting to, you can see it almost in here as well, like you've been getting to a high point. You've been getting to the high ground. You thought you were hitting rock bottom, perhaps because you felt isolated. Perhaps it's like two people as well. You both felt isolated. You both felt like you were pushed out of social groups, family groups. But it's like you met at the same point. You had the same conclusion, something like this. So you see with like the two paths coming together on all these different cards. It's like you both found yourselves there at the same time. And so there's something brilliant that happens, because it's like two people who are isolated, two people who are exiled, coming together, joining forces and having some kind of breakthrough. Again, following here, so my phone, following here, it's like they come together and the Ace of Materials is behind that. There's an offer, a relocation, perhaps, a location marker. You know, maybe two people meet and, you know, the location tags on the social media is like they're in the same place and everybody's like, hang on, we didn't know they were meeting, like why are they in the same place, something like that. You could like maybe give the game away as well. If you're meeting somebody, if you're retreating, maybe going, you know, maybe having a romantic getaway with somebody in a cabin, and then, you know, you both post and you've left your location on and it's like everybody knows. Could be something like that. But there is a breakthrough. So you have the rock bottom, right? You have the rock bottom, you hit that wall, you hit the wall and you think there's nowhere left to go. You think you're cornered, you think you're backed into a corner, but you see all the cracks in it. I want to say you break through that brick wall, you break through that glass ceiling. You went higher, right? You went higher than people thought was possible. Like you took the higher ground, and then it's like in doing so, it's actually very, very inspirational to other people. Can you see how it's like she's breaking through something, she's coming out at the top, and it's like she's successful, she wins. So in this card she's holding this pearl in her hand, and here it ends with the Ace of Water as well, with this pearl. So it's like they won, they got the valuable thing. The pearl was coming through, I want to say maybe in Aries or Taurus's reading. It was like you were looking in the wrong place, you were looking to the sky for this. And it was actually under the ocean. So there could be a message about, with the mountain and rock bottom, it's like maybe like a secret passage you had to go to the cave system and it brought you out at the top, or you had to you know, you had to hit rock bottom to get an important piece of information. Just making me think now of yeah, it was Aries' reading. So somebody could have Aries in the chart or be connecting with an Aries. I think it was Aries. It could have been Pisces. I watched 2 Sun Tarot readings this morning, and one of them, I'm just trying to remember now. It's like it's gone from my brain. I was really tired. I woke up at 4:44 when I looked at the timestamp. I was like, that's weird, 4:44. And it took me a while to get back to sleep, and I find Santa very, very soothing. She's kind of like reading me bedtime stories, right? So I was watching one of her videos. I want to say it was Aries, but I can't actually remember. It's like a memory was triggered. Again, could be something about a memory being triggered, a memory of a past life or something, or a memory of your own past, your past self. And it could be quite fleeting. It could be hard to get hold of, but maybe go and watch Santaro's reading. I think it was Aries, it could have been Pisces, but there was something about that. There was something about collecting information, and it was actually this deck that she was using, and there was the four of cups and this mermaid holding out a pearl. But it's like you've got you maybe you were going for the wrong thing, and you had to hit rock bottom to understand your own inner truth, your truth about what's important. And I want to say that you win. You win because you win the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups is unconditional love. So it's like you actually get the thing that's actually really important. It doesn't matter what people think of you. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter if you know what success is. Maybe it's redefining success, because this card was talking about success. You know, success is actually getting that unconditional love. You know, that is the only real thing that fulfills us. And then it's like other people see this, you know, other people perhaps see you as a couple. It doesn't have to be romantic either, though. It's like you get this pearl, you get this, you get the real treasure, and you come out successful, right? You come out on top. I want to say you come out on top. You know, you hit rock bottom, but you come out on top. It's like when you stop caring what other people think about you, and you redefine what's truly important to you, which I want to say is whatever your heart space wants, whatever your heart truly wants, not what you conceive to be popularity or fame or success or money or stability or anything like that. It's like the only true thing you need is love, right? So when you get it, it's like the key, it's the answer to everything, like number 42, right? It's like other people see it, and you're very inspiring because you took a path that nobody else wanted to take, right? And then all of a sudden it's like, because you have this breakthrough, because it's almost like you do something so against the grain, right? You do the thing that everybody else has been avoiding, and it's like the path that nobody else has took. So you actually smash through that wall, and people don't fear it anymore. It becomes something desirable. It's like other people want to follow you because you break through to the other side. And it's like, then you're the leader, right? Follow the leader. It's like you're the pioneer. You break through. And then it's like all of a sudden everybody wants to follow you and take that same path because you've smashed the glass ceiling. You've led the way. You've shown other people how it's done or what's important. And whatever it is, it's like you're doing it with love. I want to say you're doing it in your energy. I want to say with this person, with the Empress, but I want to say that this is you. Again, this could be like a soulmate, could be a mother as well. There could be a past life connection, something like this. But I want to say you do it in your own way as the King of Cups, because you are very, very in touch with your emotions. You are very, very deep. You are very intelligent as well. Scorpio is a very intelligent, deep, intense sign. So I want to say, you know, and look at this as well. It's like there's two bubbles, but it's like there's two pearls. Never noticed that before. It's like, you know what's important. You've always known what's important. Perhaps you just had to bring it to the surface. You had to realize it yourself, or you had to. It's like there's something about getting other people to understand. Like, yeah, look at all these pearls surrounding him. So yeah, it's kind of making me think of Harry Potter as well. You know, when they do that task in the water, and you have to get something from the water and come up with it. It's like you win, I want to say. And everybody sees that success. It's like, because doesn't he do that? The scene that they're trying to give me, was it Harry Potter? It's been so long since I've watched Harry Potter or read the books. Is it the Gauntlet of Fire? Is it that one where they're doing like the different trials? And there's the one with the water, and it's got like the seaweed and stuff that tangles you up and pulls you down. And it's like they're given a task. They're given, go and get this trophy. You know, to win this task, you go and you get this thing. But it's like the real task. It's like it wasn't true. It wasn't the real test. The real test was, do you save your friend? Do you rescue the person that you love? Or is that what they've got to do? They've got to rescue the person they love. I can't remember it, but it's coming through, so it could be something for somebody. I'm going to read this card because it's one of my favourite cards, because I'm a lovey-dovey Libra. Like, don't tell anyone. I like to present as the Queen of Swords, you know. I like to pretend to be the tough guy, but yeah. There's a soppy inner core with Libras. Big old romantic. Rose tinted glasses. Wanting everybody to be harmonious and loving and all that kind of good stuff. So, the lovers. Soulmates, which I said is here with this Six of Cups energy. It's like, it's like this card always makes me think bellyache. So it could be like longing. There's somebody in the water as well. Longing for a past self. Longing for, you know, a playmate from the past. Somebody that you miss, perhaps. But again, like with soul recognition. So soulmates, lovers, attraction, partnerships, a choice, sacred kinship, love, a nudge to ask what you would create if love was the main ingredient. What would you create if love was the main ingredient? This is the answer all along, right? This should be the focus, and you get it, I want to say, because even though it isolated you, it's like you understand the missing piece, you understand the key ingredient that everybody else has been missing. So even though you're isolated, you're winning, right? It's like you look like you're losing, but you're actually winning. Something like that. Textures of entanglement. All she can smell is the sweet scent of the flower as the curious landscape shifts. It draws her closer and closer still, as if the aroma fills the very sand of this place. She feels drawn in by a completely invisible string. Above, a moon lotus hangs in the sky, and giant wings caress its petals. It feels of love and sunshine. Is it Cupid, an angel? She feels no fear until the moment that she sees her, the other person approaching from the opposite bank. Skip, skip. Her heart jumps. She feels excited and attracted to the graceful creature, and it is clear that their awareness is one of mutual fascination. Old panic begins to creep in. Memories in her gut, right? Unhealthy experiences, and the rustling wings reach down and inch them closer together. Little spirit, if you want to love, you must make a choice to love. You must say yes to your heart before the flower opens. And the memories are laced with moonlight, sweet skin, union, and traces. A sense of worlds becoming one, bodies, breathless voices. So again, just watch out for those. Watch out for that location marker, though, right? Maybe somebody's going to send you a location marker and you're going to be like, oh, you're there. Oh, maybe I'll come and join you. I don't know. I'm getting Tarot de la Nuit. Let's just see what wants to come out, because it's a very, very watery deck, and it's a very you deck. The Emperor. The Emperor apparently wants to come out. Maybe he wants to come out and play. I don't know. And that look as well. Like, oh no, Four of Pentacles. I don't know, it's like the water pouring in or something. I don't know what I was getting from that. I thought it was the Six of Cups for a second. Do you have anything else? Any messages for Scorpio for Tuesday? The Sun card, beautiful. And the Five of Cups. Yeah, so there's emotional disappointment that I think you're dealing with from the past. Like you're getting over something, you're reanalyzing something from the past. You're having a breakthrough about something from the past. Because the sun is illuminated. The sun is... it burns everything else away. There's no hiding when the sun comes out. So the sun is a card about truth, about standing in your truth. Again, like coming out of the dark, back into the sunlight. Do you see the similarity of these cards with the colours? I always see it's like coming out of a cocoon as well with this kind of energy. Coming out of a cocoon. Sometimes it says to me, this card as well, about being redeemed, right? Being redeemed, standing in the light of day, standing in your truth, you know, standing in the spotlight with nothing to hide, and being redeemed from perhaps the smears of people around you. If people have tried to cancel you or something like this, or you feel like that. But it's a sign of confidence as well. Confidence, strength, Leo energy. And it comes from doing that inner work, right? Fighting those inner battles, dealing with the shit from the past, and then standing in your truth and knowing what's important to you. I want to say when you hit that core, and this could also be the unconditional love of spirit or God, you know, Christ consciousness, whatever you want to call it, right? That unconditional love for the self within. When you find that inner note, that inner chord, you know, it is very empowering. You don't care. It's like, if you're not religious, it's fine, leave it. But it's like, for some of you, it could be when I tap into that, the love of God, right? The love of Christ consciousness, the the love of spirit, the love of the universe, when I find that within, then nothing that happens here on the human plane actually matters. It doesn't matter what my neighbor thinks of me. It doesn't matter what that guy in the post office thinks of me. It doesn't matter, you know, what my friends and family think of me. All that matters is that God loves me. If you're not religious, it's, you know, I love myself. I know that I'm being authentic to me. I know that I stand in my truth. I know that I'm a good person. I understand my inner workings, and I like myself. I look in the mirror and I like myself. So again, I'm going to stand in my truth. I'm going to stand in my integrity, because that's more important to me than putting on some kind of mask and pretending to be something I'm not. You know, it's got that kind of energy to it. So however it fits for you, I want to say it's really, really good. And it could be that you're observing somebody else, right? You're observing somebody else doing this and finding this. And I want to say that's why you're not intervening, because this is a journey that they have to go through by themselves. So let's have a read of the Sun card, because this is a message for you. What number are you though? You are number 19. By the sun be blessed. I stand in the sun of night. I bring you the sun of night, right? Look at this, the sun of night. Who else had something like this? I want to say maybe Virgo had this thing about, like, Leo or Virgo, this stuff about the light and the darkness or something like that. I stand in the sun of night. I bring you radiance, joy, and success. Through this card, my positive energy shines upon you. My touch is warm and bright, so bathe in it. It will fill yourself with confidence and sunny power, so that you can, in turn, spread them all around. Shadows and fears no longer surround you. Look here, you can't make this up, but look. Shadows and fears no longer surround you. On the contrary, a golden light is here to show you the way and to gently tan your face. Enthusiasm is your new best friend, and everything you've been hoping of lately is about to come true. Life wants to be your lover and lover's card, right? Life wants to be your lover and urges you to answer yes. This is a moment of breakthrough. What did I say? What did I say? Breakthrough, right? Cannot make this up, right? I can't do card tricks. This is exactly how the cards have come out. This is a moment of breakthrough, so enjoy it to the fullest. Optimism, new powers, luck, happiness, warm golden energy, blessing in all areas. Let's get you a little bit of advice. I'm telling you, it's like when you think you've hit rock bottom, when it feels like everything's gone wrong, either for you or this person that you're observing, when they think they've hit rock bottom, when they think that, you know, this is the end for them, there's nowhere else to go, they're cornered, it's like that's when success comes in. That's when they have the breakthrough. Which is why I think you're observing them going on this journey. It's like why you've left them to do it on their own, why you're not helping them, why you're not stepping forward, why you're observing, because it's like that the breakthrough, it's like you can tell people, you can tell them, and they don't understand until the answer comes from within. It's like people who are addicted to things, right? It's like they're going to keep doing it until they hit rock bottom, and then it's like, I've nowhere else to go here, the only way is up, right? And then having that success because it's come from within, like the drive, the passion, the desire, it's come from within. And this is why intervening can't help them. I mean, be a friend to people, you know, be there for people if they reach out and they're asking for support. You know, if you can support them in a way that's healthy, do that. I'm not saying that you have to abandon anyone or anything like that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you understand that everybody is on their own journey, and the answers have to come from within to be meaningful. You know, that inner truth is the most important thing. And that inner truth and that inner clarity that comes from our darkest moments. You know, it could again be like somebody going through the long dark night of the soul, with long night here in darkness. Someone passing through the long night of the soul, hitting rock bottom. But then coming out, like, again, with that breakthrough energy, like coming out and winning, coming out and having the success and being an inspiration for other people to follow. It's really very, very cool. Advice, please, for anyone that this reading is resonating with, please. Advice, please, for whoever needs to hear it. That's too many. Be fearless and bold, and learn from the past. I'll take those two. Be fearless and bold and learn from the past. and this and that are true. Again, middle ground, right? Libra energy. Libra is ruled by the goddess Venus. The goddess Venus is sometimes represented with dolphins, or by dolphins. If you want to look at the Augustan statue, the Augustus Prima Porta statue, he's holding this little Cupid little boy by his, by his hand, and the boy's riding a dolphin. The dolphin is symbolic of Augustus's lineage, and Rome's lineage being associated with Venus. It's a whole thing. But of course, you being the king of the ocean, the king of water, the dolphins are perhaps a very, very meaningful symbol to you, or could be symbolic, or a messenger, right, of your energy. I don't know. This and that are true. You don't have to take sides. The middle ground is the high ground. That's where you're meant to go. Be fearless and bold. You have that. When you get that inside you, when you get your own inner truth, confidence naturally follows. You do have to be brave at this time, I want to say, because there is opposition. There are people who don't understand, and learn from the past. Yeah, definitely with that 6 of Cups energy and that 5 of Cups energy. You are learning lessons from the past, which is bringing you that breakthrough energy. Okay, so the song that randomized for you, and I've been saving the best till last, was I Was Made for Loving You by Tori Kelly and Ed Sheeran, which is a beautiful, beautiful song. And it definitely does talk about that soulmate energy of soul recognition. And it's 2 people coming together, right? So I'm going to read you some of the lyrics. A dangerous plan just this time. A stranger's hand clutched in mine. A stranger, right? I'll take this chance, so call me blind. I've been waiting all my life. Please don't scar this young heart. Just take my hand. I was made for loving you, even though we may just be hopeless hearts just passing through. Every bone screaming, I don't know what we should do. All I know, darling, I was made for loving you. Hold me close through the night. Don't let me go. We'll be all right. Touch my soul and hold it tight. I've been waiting all my life. I won't scar your young heart. Just take my hand, because I was made for loving you. Please don't go. I've been waiting so long. Oh, you don't even know me at all, but I was made for loving you. Obviously, trust your own judgment. It is a very romanticized meeting of strangers. You do have to be careful, especially if you are isolating yourself, with a stranger. That's a bit of a dangerous position to be in, but understand your own situation, and follow your heart, right? Trust your instincts, learn from the past. You are going to have some sort of breakthrough, and I feel like you're having some sort of breakthrough because 2 paths are meeting, right? 2 people are coming together and having some kind of moment of truth and clarity. So very clear reading. I hope it makes sense to you. I hope it was helpful to you, and if it wasn't your reading and you've made it to this point in the video, I hope that it was at least an entertaining story. Do please take care of yourselves, very good care of yourselves, especially if you're meeting strangers, especially online. Maybe use those location markers to keep yourself safe. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. If you like the reading, please leave me a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'd appreciate a subscribe. Helps out my channel. And also sharing with friends, even if it's just, hey, do you want a nice story to fall asleep to? Do you want to have a listen to this reader? Sharing the videos really helps out the channel as well and gets those messages out there. And I hope that they're healing, and I hope that they're helpful. All right, do please take care of yourselves. Again, I keep saying that, and I will see you again soon. Bye, Scorpio. Scorpio, it's so funny to me how the messages come through. I just turned my my computer on to upload your video, and it's a mountaintop. So the image had changed, the Windows image, and it's a mountaintop with this sun coming by as well. So I don't know, love on a mountaintop. It could be on the cards for you. Maybe pineapples is a thing for you. I don't know. It's funny how the messages come through. All right, bye bye.